back to the channel today, guys, and I am like through the roof happy right now because I loved this episode of Spy X Family. Not only did we finally get Fiona really introduced today, we got a nice adorable little segment with Bond at the end of the episode. It's like, I'm grinning like a fool right now. It felt like this episode was tailor-made for me. And I cannot wait until next week, and we get the tennis segment. Oh my lord. I found that very fun in the manga, and I know you guys will enjoy it too. It's going to be quite fun. But I just want to get straight into it today and talk about Spy X Family episode 9 today, because, oh man, I loved it. Our episode literally begins today with Handler saying that I've accepted your proposal for joint operations in order to be sure of success. I'm counting on you, as we just see that Berlin General Hospital clerk, Fiona Frost. In reality, a spy for Wise. As Handler tells her, let Twilight know you can work out the operation protocol together. She's got to warn her that take care this doesn't interfere with Operation Strix, though. As Fiona asks her, how's that going, by the way? And Handler's gotta tell her, like, yo, gracefully. It's taken so long, but we knew it was a long mission to begin with. As Fiona's like, damn, if only I had been available at the start of the mission, I could have played the role of the wife. In fact, it's not too late now. Nudge, 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 nudge. As Handler's gotta tell her that Twilight bouncing between wives would be pretty suspicious. As she tells her that the Forger family are gonna maintain their status quo. But Fiona says that, if Mrs. Forger should leave the stage for some unknown reason, I guess I'd be forced to replace her. Handler just does a double take, like, I don't need any schemes from you, Fiona. I don't need you to do anything like that. And as she's walking away, Handler's gotta be like, yo, I'm serious, by the way. Don't do nothing crazy. And as she's walking away, she passes some colleagues who actually start talking a little bit of shit, saying how they say she's trying to get promoted by stealing Twilight's achievements from under him. She's the type to stab an ally in the back. And it's here we see codename Nightfall, a woman with a secret ambition. And I gotta say, I always love the naming in this series for agents. How we have Twilight, we had Daybreak's sorry ass earlier, and now we have Nightfall. It's actually kind of sick. And it's here we transition to Yor in the kitchen as she's feeling a little down on herself as she says, another breakfast ruined. And I gotta say, guys, like, how the hell do you burn an egg? What? How do you burn an egg? That almost seems intentional. The only way you can burn an egg is if you just leave it on the stove. It's honestly more impressive how she messes up these meals instead of makes them good. Yor's progressing though. She's trying hard, and that's all that matters. As she says, I gotta get good at making something other than stew soon. And it's here as we get a knock on the door. We see that Fiona pulled up to the house. Like, yo, what's good? As she says that I'm a co-worker of Dr. Forger's. My name is Fiona Frost. What a name, by the way. Yor tells her that my husband's not even here right now. He's out walking the dog with our daughter. As Fiona says, I already confirmed their absence. As she tells Yor that your daughter left us behind at the hospital during her last visit. I came to bring this to you. A very well thought out excuse. And they just kind of stare at each other for a good 5 seconds after that. It's honestly kind of funny. As Yor says, I guess since you came all this way, you want to come in? And as she's sitting there, even Yor's got to be like, what a beautiful lady, man. And hey, Fiona's fine. I got to admit, all the women in this show are beautiful. Fiona's no exception. As she thinks to herself, like, does she think that his secret lover came to visit? That's fair. I do mean to steal her place as the wife at the first opening. So her instincts are on point. Yor Breyer, if you are dead weight holding back Operation Strix, I will have to eliminate you. But why does her body language not show a single weak point? What's going on? Nani? And Yor's just sitting there like, damn, I'm kind of nervous right now. As Fiona continues and says, regardless, eliminating her directly carries too many risks. It would be better to corner her into leaving of her own accord. And I'm like, damn, that's kind of... She's getting aggressive with it. And it's here she's starting to test Yor to try to see if she's up to snuff for the mission, saying how your daughter's name was Anya, right? She must be quite a handful, huh? As she thinks to herself that, to you, she's only another woman's daughter. As Yor's like, a handful? I love that she's full of life. That makes her great. Being with her never stops being fun. As Fiona's like, her mother act is excellent. As Fiona thinks to herself that you're not worthy to be a part of this operation. And it's here she starts doing something that's pretty dirty, I'll be real. She starts telling Yor that, Dr. Forger often complains at work. He says, oh, my wife is always... But before she can finish, Lloyd actually comes back home. And as Lloyd's taking his coat off, he thinks, damn, she came all the way here? This has got to be an emergency. And it's here we begin our spy subterfuge conversation. As Lloyd says, what's going on, Nightfall? She says that I merely just wanted to examine the state of Operation Strix. As Anya realizes that, oh damn, this lady's another spy? Let's go! Examine it? Examine it for what? And Fiona's getting a little prickly here. She says, is the dog walking necessary for the operation, Twilight? Should you not leave menial tasks to this woman? Is she being uncooperative? I can take her out, As Lloyd's sitting there like, what are you trying to say with that? As she says that it is a loss to this world to have a man of your caliber become infatuated with playing house. Which is harsh, kind of real though. I suggest re-examining the plan. As Lloyd tells her that this is none of your business. Anya's like, could she be an evil spy? And as she reads her mind, we get a shock. She is madly in love with Lloyd. Anya is just looking at her like, what? She actually has to rub her eyes like, did I see that right? Am I looking at that right? When I say in love, guys, I mean like really, really in love. You know you're in love when you got like 30 hearts in your eyes instead of one. Even Anya's like, this is too much for me. I can't handle it. Yuri's one thing. We can't have another. As she just starts imagining to herself how she would be the perfect wife for Lloyd. And on the surface, yeah, she seems pretty perfect, but yo, obsessive much? And in Fiona's mind, Lloyd's like, you're perfect. I don't need that dim-witted woman anymore. I will marry you for the sake of world peace, Nightfall. She's like, oh, Twilight, I don't need a mission to give myself to you. Codename Nightfall. Her secret ambition is to marry Lloyd. As she thinks to herself that I'm far more suited to be his wife, damn it. As Anya's just looking at her like, no, not another one. But unfortunately, it's here that we transition to Yor feeling kind of down on herself. Because she remembers what Fiona said to her before Lloyd walked in, and she's kind of taken that to heart. As she thinks that Lloyd says that, oh, she's always clumsy and useless. Maybe I should sell her out to the authorities. Why don't you marry me instead, Fiona? She's like, oh, can I? Why don't I come to your house soon then? And obviously, Yor doesn't take that very well. As she says that, I can't even make a decent breakfast. And I'm sitting here like, come on, Yor, you can make an egg eventually, right? It's not that hard. And as Yor brings out the drinks to everyone, Fiona's like, Twilight takes his coffee black. I've never once seen him put milk in his coffee. You've spent so long playing his wife and you haven't even noticed? Give me your place. Very aggressive. As we see that Lloyd just dumps the whole freaking container of milk in his coffee. She's just like, Nani? Inconceivable! As Fiona thinks to herself that, I get it. This is him playing Lloyd Forger. He's flawlessly acting as a man who takes milk in his coffee. Incredible. You're amazing, Twilight. I love you. And Lloyd's really just sitting over there like, damn, this milk's helping my stomach pains at least. But it's here that Anya accidentally spills the cocoa everywhere, and Fiona's just like, damn, what a careless girl. If Twilight had trained her properly, she'd be able to catch the glass before it fell. That would mean that conditioning the daughter is the wife's job. Very old-fashioned. A woman who can't scold her daughter is not capable of it. Give me your place again! When I'm her mother, I'll manage her schedule by the minute, as we just see her whipping the shit out of Anya! Anya's face in this scene is killing me! Give me a month, and I'll rebuild her into a Stella Star machine. As Anya thinks to herself, no, I'm totally against this mother. I don't want her. As she says in code that, Twilight, I propose to replace your wife. Very direct. Anya gets up and is like, no, forget that. I love mother who wipes hot chocolate off me best of all. Fiona says, I can be nice too, you know. As she says that next time I can bring you some delicious hot chocolate from abroad, and Anya hisses at her like a freaking cat. As Anya starts putting on an act like, I'm so happy to be in the Forger family. I love it here. I really mean it. And as Yor sees that, she gets fired up and says, Lloyd, I'm gonna do my best. I'll give it everything I have for the sake of the family. I'll wipe hot chocolate as often as it takes. But Lloyd just looks at her and says that, I know you work hard. That's why Anya's become so attached to you. That's all I need. And in this scene, you can really tell that that means the world to Yor. And it's here that Fiona thinks to herself about a fake smile. As she remembers her training with Twilight, as he says that, a true spy never reveals their true feelings. Stifle your heart. As she says, it's because I've seen so many master spies that I understand. This is a finely crafted fake smile, with his true self faintly showing through. And Fiona gets really sad at this as she realizes that not everything here is fake. Lloyd has clearly grown attached to them, at least to an extent. As she says that, I think it's time to take my leave, as she leaves. And Lloyd can tell instantly that something is up. It's also pouring down rain, so he decides that, she didn't take an umbrella. Let me go give one to her real quick. I'll be right back. And as she's just walking in the rain on her own, Lloyd actually catches up to her, and she tells him that, I forgot to tell you something there. Handler decided we'll be working together on the next mission. And as she turns around, you can tell right away that she was crying. She was crying hard. It's honestly kind of sad to look at, as she thinks to herself that I'm glad it's raining today. It lets me hide these feelings from him. After all, we are spies. This is what I learned from my beloved mentor. At least until this Cold War ends. And what she says here and what she's feeling are two totally different things, as she thinks to herself that even if it's as a fake wife, for now, please just let me be by your side. As she tells him out loud that playing house is making you weak. Next mission, I will show you my talent. Please take care not to hold me back. As she really thinks to herself that, please notice that no one but me is worthy to be your wife. And it's a little sad, but that's how the first part of our episode ends. A little heavy. Now, the second half of our episode is much more lighthearted, honestly. As we see that Anya's watching a cartoon with Bond, and Private Penguin's been shot! And he dies right then and there! Oh no, my heart! Anya's just like, Penguin, no! So later that night, of course, Anya wants to sleep with the giant penguin she got at the end of the first half of our season. That Lloyd got her. And Bond's just looking at that penguin like, yo, I'm gonna fuck that penguin up, man. I'm gonna beat the shit out that penguin. And as she wakes up the next morning, the other Mr. Penguin's dead. He's been brutally mauled. As Anya looks at Bond, and Bond looks away like, I don't know who did that. Could have been anyone. Could have been a burglar. I don't know. I didn't see nothing. As she reads his mind, she sees that Bond's really saying, yo, Penguin's bad, man. He took Anya away from me. As Anya says that, I really hate you, Bond. And the look on Bond's face hurts my heart so much. Oh, man. Bond's best boy. We can't be mad at him. As Yor tells you that, I'll sew him up until he's well again. And we know how this is gonna go. And as Anya sees her handiwork, she says that he's even deader! How is that possible? He looks worse! As Anya tells him that this penguin is important to me. It's the one that you gave me. As Lloyd's just like, alright, calm down, I'll fix it, go eat breakfast. And it's here we see that Anya's crying her eyes out. And as Lloyd brings back Mr. Penguin, he is now Frankenstein's monster. As he tells Anya that Agent Penguin's scars are badges of honor earned fighting for peace. And as Bond comes back in, we see he brought her a bag of peanuts to try to make amends. Like, come on, best boy, like I said. As Lloyd says that it looks like he wants you to forgive him. Come on, forgive Bond! As Anya grabs Mr. Penguin and says that, I have been badly wounded, but in honor of your gift of peanuts, I am prepared to put an end to this war. Also, I'm sorry I said I hated you. And the look on Bond's face really warms my cold heart, man. Like, oh. As they both shake on it and the peace treaty is signed. As Lloyd looks on with a smile and says, I wish this was as simple between the East and the West. And our episode ends. And what a great episode, you know, just all the way through. I enjoyed every scene. I'm so happy Fiona is introduced now, because she gives a very fun dynamic into the series. And that little scene with Bond at the end was adorable. Like, I'm not so cold-hearted yet that I wouldn't find that adorable. Give me a couple of years. But for now, it warmed my heart. I loved it. So what a great episode. I can't wait till next week's episode when we get the tennis segment. It's gonna be so fun and ridiculous. It's gonna be great. I can't wait for it, and I hope that you guys can't wait for it either. So until then, guys, I hope you have a great day, week, month, and year. And until then, deuces, have a blessed day, and just, you know, just be happy. Smile a lot. I'll see you guys next time.